You are listening to Vitruvian Man with Jesse and Josh.
Welcome back to Vitruvian Man. As usual, I'm joined by Josh.
What's up, my man?
How you doing?
It's been a long time.
Been a long time.
Yeah.
To quote Led Zeppelin, long lonely time.
Although
It's always lonely without Josh.
we did get to see Seven in the theater, which
We-
was fucking epic.
Saw David Fincher's Seven playing in the IMAX theater in Emeryville. That was pretty dope.
So good.
Yeah.
I was reading some, because I guess it was released all over in IMAX.
Yeah.
And I was reading some people talking about it. Just talking about how good that fucking movie was and how the sound design, like they really did remaster the sound really well. I thought that was pretty fucking good.
Definitely.
It was so good.
Print was great. The
Yeah.
quality was amazing. We were talking about this. I don't think I realized how much this owes to Blue Velvet.
Just Lynch stuff in general. Yeah.
Because it's talking about, that seedy evil that lives under all of seemingly normal society,
Although that was 90s New York. So
Sure.
it was I mean, it's fucking gritty.
That was the ethos of 90s New York?
That was 90s New York.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't 70s New York, but it was still pretty fucking dirty and grimy.
Right.
And but yeah, so good. And all the fucking industrial music, which was it's going to be good when you have fucking Nine Inch Nails thrown on.
Trent
there.
Reznor, that epic, just Fincher's title sequences are often amazing, and that
was super good.
It's pretty great.
And the last thing I'll say about it, and we talked about this, what a fucking douchebag Brad Pitt's character was.
He's such a
I forgot
douchebag.
what an asshole he was.
Yeah, it's easy to forget.
It was
that-
perfect for being thrown into the mix with Kevin Spacey, just taunting him and forcing him to be an asshole at the end there. It was so fucking good.
It's funny how unimpressed Spacey is with Brad Pitt's character when Brad Pitt's character's just judging him constantly, and Spacey just looks at him with those, give me a fucking break.
Just doesn't give a fuck.
This is not a serious person. Did you happen to see a documentary on the making of those notebooks?
Oh no, really?
So, in the killer's apartment, there's like 2,000 notebooks.
Yeah.
So of course, no one made 2,000 notebooks, but someone made one or two notebooks, and we're talking, thousands of handwritten words,
Dude, that's a lot.
film, just all kinds. So I think the one book, you only see it for maybe 45 seconds, but it took a person maybe 50 hours or 100 hours to make that by themselves. So
Hardly any spaces between the words.
Yeah.
That was amazing. So I had a friend when I was a kid, and his uncle was crazy, like truly like fucking crazy, and there was like notebooks like that,
oh shit.
like tons of them, and but they weren't. It wasn't words. It was just, it looked like writing, but it wasn't, and it was like hundreds of notebooks.
And not actually English?
No language. It just looked like writing. So I have no idea what was going. I have no idea what was going on to the paper.
Almost sounds like a brain injury too.
No, he was crazy. Do you know? I mean, fucking Arkram,
Yeah.
his brother.
Yeah. I saw the documentary.
Yeah. So
about Trump,
that's he just, like, Jesse had fucking all of these fucking notebooks at his house. It was crazy.
That is nuts. Poor people, man.
Brains.
Poor people, what they go through.
Brains.
Speaking of people, so
Yeah.
after the election, you and I are pretty devastated. I would say it's safe to say.
I think, like, this is we've been political, but this is the first time that we're actually talking about politics on the podcast. I feel like on a direct level.
Yeah, and I think we both looked at each other and said, can we even do this anymore?
Is this gonna? Yeah. Can we do the research? Can we look at all this shit?
Just too depressing.
All these assholes.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't enjoy politics, I do understand.
Oh yeah.
However, we are going to pivot right to this because it's like, we could pivot to something like a film podcast or a music podcast and something we love.
Yeah.
I'm not under the pretense that, or under the misapprehension that we are warriors fighting the battle of good. But, the thing is, with this presidency, there's a lot of crimes going to be committed, and we can just sit back and do nothing and feel bad about it, or maybe retroactive or proactively, look into this, look into the power behind Trump and expose it and do the best we can to expose it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so yeah, like I had to stop looking at news for a while because of Jesus fucking Christ.
I didn't look for 2 or 3 weeks at least.
It was at least 2 or 3 weeks. It might have been, I still haven't gone back to full on looking at stuff.
No.
And I've canceled a lot of the news subscriptions that I did have.
Right. I don't blame you.
I've gotten a couple back but they're not the same ones. I've kind of avoided getting into the same news trap. But the obvious thing to me is, it, I don't want to get all fucking tinfoil brain here, but like if the election wasn't stolen, over half of this country basically voted for a king, right? We now have somebody who's going to pretend like he's the monarch of this fucking country.
Right.
And an idiot king, but nonetheless somebody who considers himself above the law.
Yeah.
And with that, I think that truly an idiot king. He's a fucking moron. He really can't string a sentence together, but there are a lot of people putting together policies and actions that he's going to push through purely because of his ego. And I think that, we talked about this, and the way that we can kind of do what we can fighting the good fight is to address the people behind the throne, the people that are going to be coming up with the actual policy. Stephen Miller, Bannon. I mean, even the dumbasses like Matt Gaetz and fucking that trollop, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like,
hey.
I know I'm giving trollops a bad name, but those people are going to be pushing, besides space lasers, they're going to be pushing, ideas and things that are going to be coming out. And I think that we need to kind of address those ideas. And then beyond that, getting into actual philosophers who these people are fucking basing their policies on. So people that, we did the whole Project 2025 episode, but getting into the people that are actually writing the policies for Trump instead of trying to fight Trump like they were originally. And
right.
Then going after people like Mark Andreessen, Peter Thiel, Curtis Yarvin, which I think is kind of under the radar. Julius Evola, I think, is somebody that we should address. He's the guy that didn't like Mussolini and the fascists because they were too much of a pussy group.
They're beta cucks,
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of the stuff that fucking Bannon comes up with, is a direct result of Julius Evola. So I think those are the people that those are the people that we're going to be hitting up. I mean, do you have anybody that you've thought of?
You are so much smarter about this stuff than I am. We obviously looked into his South African roots, right? As far as like the power money that's behind Trump.
Yeah, Elon and
did you already mention Thiel today?
Yeah, Peter Thiel. Yeah,
right.
Peter. So. And Elon, I think that we can actually go into. I've seen some articles come out recently that just really get into the nitty gritty of what a piece of shit he is. And
oh, really?
Oh yeah,
nice.
I'll send it to you. It's but I mean, basically, if he's telling the truth, it's only because he's trying to manipulate the situation.
Sure,
he lies about everything.
Absolutely.
Never graduated from college.
Is that right?
True.
Which is funny because a lot of these tech guys who didn't graduate college don't care, and they're proud of the fact that they didn't graduate college.
Well, I put him kind of in the same category as Epstein. That gives him respectability,
sure.
Even though he doesn't have any. He wants to seem smart, even though he's
sure.
a fucking mutton head. God damn it! But is anybody? I mean, that you've thought of as we've kind of put this together?
No, I don't really have names per se, just to know that we're going to be doing a lot of research on this stuff, and I'm going to be learning a lot because, like I said, a lot more of these names than I do. So I don't have specific names in mind so much as that I think we need to expose this power structure.
Yeah. It's really kind of exposing the ideas and the philosophy that they're using to push this agenda, whatever it's going to end up being. I mean, you can't believe anything that they're saying right now is purely for liberal tears. I mean,
yeah.
Gulf of America, what a fucking jack off, dude.
Right.
Oh, we're gonna invade Greenland. Dude, shut the fuck up.
Greenland's our mortal enemy.
Oh,
of course,
God.
we're going to invade Greenland.
And then, yeah, I mean,
Those bastards.
they're going to economically terrorize fucking Canada to being a fucking state. It's like, come on. Now, all that stuff's bullshit. But once the nitty gritty starts happening, once they actually start get into office and start really pushing whatever the fuck their agenda is, then I think we'll have a lot more. We'll have a lot more names.
Yeah. So it'll be season 2 of the Vitruvian Man.
Yeah.
Our former slogan being the antidote for toxic masculinity. This new slogan being behind the throne.
Yeah.
We said. So you'll see season 2 coming up in a couple weeks, and same theme song. So that's good.
Yeah. We can't change the music. That music fucking bangs.
100 years from now, if we're still doing a podcast, I still want to use that theme song. Fucking slaps. So. All right, what do you think, man? Did we do it? Did we solve all our problems?
We got anything? Yeah. Fuck. We're just beginning.
We have a long road ahead of us.
Yeah, and I hope all both of you out there listening, I hope you tune back in.
Enjoy. Obviously we'll talk about dark shit, but hopefully you'll be entertained while we do it. So.
Yeah. We'll do what we can.
All right, man. Here's a toast to bad dads, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Bad dads and the dicks behind the throne.
Have a good one.
You too, man. You have been listening to Vitruvian Man. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can either call us at 415-484-8841 or send us an email at vitruvianpod@gmail.com.